Hello everyone, welcome to Monday, and I am just adding a couple of things up here because, as you know, I am counting down to the last few points that I need to earn the Western Caribbean trip, the cruise, and so I would so appreciate your orders. I have an ordering special posted, and goodness, don't ask me what it is right this second because I don't have it memorized. But for a $30 order, that's level 1. With a $50 order, that's level 2. And with a $100 order, that is level 3. With the 50 and 100, of course, you're going to earn celebration rewards in addition to what I'm going to send you. And let's see if I can get this right. With a $30 order, I'm going to send you prep supplies to make 4 cards. With a $50 order, I'm going to send you that, plus an embellishment from the current catalogs. And with a $100 order, I'm going to send you prep supplies to make 2 each of those 4 designs, an embellishment, and then you're going to, of course, earn your celebration, a level 2 reward or 2 level 1 rewards from celebration. So please, if you need to stock up on envelopes or adhesive, or you want to make the things that I'm making today, then I would very much appreciate being your demonstrator and getting some help from you to help me make that last little push. I need $480 in sales. So anyway, I have a little makeup on today. You might notice I just filmed a really little snippet for the home office about joining Stampin' Up! And how you might invite someone to join and why they might want to join. So it was just a real quick little video. It only took me 10 tries to get it right. But anyway, so I might look a little more spiffy than normal today. But don't get used to it. It won't last. So what do I have going on? So I am taking a coloring class. You might have seen a post about that. And these are the things that we colored on Saturday. And I think this little Santa is so cute. So this is, oh my gosh, where's his name? This is the Be Jolly stamp set. I love it. It's like a coloring book, right? And it's too fun. This little bird, oh, he's just precious. And, so it just lends itself really well to making a little tag. Or this is a note card, so really fast. We did a little blending with the blending brush and ink, and then we stamped and colored and cut out. So we fussy cut. There are no dies that go along with this. So we did fussy cut and put that down. Now, one of the reasons that we did that is because if we had colored straight onto our note card, it would have bled through and you would have seen the back side of our coloring over here. So that's one reason that you do that. So one of my cards today has got a little, we're going to use this stamp set again and make a fun card using the Heartwarming Hugs paper. I believe that's the name of it. And then the other one uses a celebration set. We talked several weeks ago about this Feels Like Home set, and I said that it was a stamp set that didn't need any coloring. Now there are lots of examples of beautiful cards that are colored, and I don't mean that they're not beautiful, they absolutely are, but this card takes almost no time to put together, and it's beautiful just the way it is. I've got a layer of basic gray cardstock, a layer of designer series paper from the In Good Taste. Is that the name of it? Oh gosh. Hold on. Don't hold me to it. Now I don't even know what I've done with it. Criminy. I think that's the name of it. In Good Taste. It's in the annual catalog. And then this stamp set is the Feels Like Home, which is a celebration selection. And actually, it needs a little stamp on the inside too, so I'm going to add that. If I can find my basic gray. Actually, we'll just make this whole card again. I did put this on the Stamparatus so that I could maybe stamp it more than once if I wanted it to be a little more intense. But it's meant to be like a pen and ink drawing, so it is not, you know, clean, crisp lines, and it is intentionally this way. But let me show you what I've got set up. So on the Stamparatus, I've already lined this up. And I think Jennifer was just confirming that that is the name of the paper. So yay, I got it right. Woo-hoo. Bonus points. So I stamped this down on a piece of grid paper for the Stamparatus. And then I marked where I'm going to put my paper. And it's a square, so not too concerned about that. And then I can actually put my magnet down here because I'm stamping a little higher and my greeting is going to come along the bottom. And I'm going to stamp in basic gray. And I keep that stamp set underneath this plate to help me give a solid surface for inking it up. I had a tip for you all. I need to remember. Okay, pull that out so that I remember. I have a Stampin' Seal that I'm working with right now that is kind of fussy. Sometimes it just doesn't want to roll. Yeah, I think you're right, Linda. I think the Stamparatus is a tool like none other. And I tell you, I remember to use it a lot more now that I keep it in this little container that's right here to my right. I did a quick video at the end of last week showing my space and some of the different items that I have. So can you guys see that we're building this a little intense? I'm going to do it one more time, not because I think I need it, but just to point out that it is intensifying. This is something that you could not do with a red rubber stamp, certainly, without a Stamparatus tool like this. So it got really dark that time. All right, so that is the main stamp. I'm going to leave that paper exactly where it is and switch to a different plate where I have the greeting already lined up. I have 3 classes this week. Oh, sorry, forgot what I was doing. I'm making Halloween cards on Thursday over in the card class group. And then on Saturday, making cards with the pretty pumpkins and Christmas cards with heartfelt wishes and a few papers. So how lovely is that? Just really simple. That paper is cut, that designer series paper is cut 4 by 5 1/4. So you're going to get 6 per sheet of that paper. So that would be a great quick thank you note that you could make. And of course you could always switch up your paper as well. Tuck that right there. And then to put this together, this is a tip that I just learned because, and I especially appreciated it because for some reason this refill I have in here is it's just fussy. It just doesn't want to start all the time. But that silicone mat over there helps prime the pump, if you will. It means I'm not having to scoot it over. And that's a beautiful thing. So if you want to come in person, if you're local and would like to attend any of the classes Thursday or Saturday, please let me know. if you want to wait until after you see the Christmas cards and the Halloween cards, then that's fine. There's an ordering special, and you can order after the event and get a card kit. And it's kind of funny now that I've shown you. Okay, so here it doesn't want to start, but if I come over here, it almost immediately starts, and then I can do that. And then when I'm ready, this just peels right off and goes right into my trash can. So I hope that's helpful for you. It was rather wow, ta-da, big moment for me. I have something else to show you all later this week. I'm going to show it to my team first. I'm dying to share it, and it's a big step out for me, but I'm going to show it to my team first tomorrow night at our meeting, and then I will reveal it to everyone else later this week, probably on this page. Now remember, with your dimensionals, that middle one is for support. I don't need it for its stickiness. I will try and do this right side up, however. And there we go. So now let's look at these side by side. So now you can really see what stamping it multiple times in basic gray, how I intensified the design. This was just stamped once, and then this was actually stamped 3 times. Other than that, the cards are identical. And I think they're both beautiful. It's just a different look. It's all about your personal preference. So that is the Feels Like Home. And I'm not going to make another card and color it with it right now. I wanted to show you. Oh, did I forget that again? Dadgum. I did want to stamp this little flower pot on the inside. And the demonstrator that I cased for this, her first name is Melissa, and I have no idea how to pronounce her last name. It starts with an M. And it ends in Vitch. I probably could use the rolled up. Yeah, I probably could use that as a glue dot. All right, so there are a few tulips on the inside. At least I think they're tulips. And now I've got an ink on my fingers. All right, so let's take a look at this card. So this is the Heartwarming Hugs paper. It carried over from the holiday catalog last year. And I've got some of the Simply Elegant trim. And I'm going to grab the silver. I think I'm going to get the silver out of here. And I'm going to go around a couple of times. Hello, Ashley. How have you been? This is lovely because this paper has lines, so I can line this up so easily. So I'm going to go around this twice. And sometimes I would cut this off. And for no particular reason, I didn't do that this time. So I'm curious, did you all see the video that I gave, the tour of my studio? It's no longer half office. It is Stampin' Up! All the time. Okay, so this piece is cut 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, so it's going to cover the entire front. And then this piece is going to kind of come at an angle behind this one. And it could actually be a little bit wider, but anyway, this is where we're going to do our stamping and coloring. I've already done one of these using the Holly Jolly Wishes. I used Jingle All the Way with Versamark ink craft. I did this on craft paper. I love craft paper. It is back in the mini catalog. And then white embossing powder. This is going to take a little bit of time to color, so that is why I took that little step ahead. And so I'm going to be building on this. I'm not going to be stamping on it. I'm going to be stamping on some scraps, which are over here. All right, I need a Santa. And I need the sleigh. I love these designs. I do not need this. And I'm going to get out some memento. Yeah, it's got a vacuum seal on it. So I'm not quite sure if I'm going to keep this Monday at 5 time spot or not. It's kind of hard because we Zoom at 7 and there's not much time in between to make dinner. Well, it's always a work in progress, Ashley. But I'm pleased now, and I'm trying to give myself a few minutes extra time to tidy up before I leave in the evenings. All right, let's go ahead and, speaking of tidying up, I'll go ahead and clean my stamps. So this coloring class, you might have seen, I am actually getting up at 4 a.m. Actually getting up before 4 a.m. The class starts at 4 a.m. To be right here. And then it goes for, so it goes for 4 hours. But it's fabulous. So the first lesson we talked about some of these coloring techniques, and so I need a color lifter. Guys, this actually doesn't lift the color, it pushes the color. It's the alcohol reacting to the alcohol that moves the color, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying it well. All right, so I want smoky slate, and I need spruce. No, I don't need spruce for this one. What color am I going to use for that? Use gray, apple green, and daffodil. Yeah. I did not get my colors out ahead of time. And real red, ivory. I'm not sure I need bronze or not. Okay, so we're going to start with his sweet little face and his ears. Ivory and bronze are kind of the skin tone blends. And this class is all about the blends. They're going to be, I think, 4 sessions. Different techniques. We also did some texture building with the blends. I'm not ready to share that with you. Nothing fancy with the ivory. Okay, and let's do his red. Now, and we've talked before, there are lots of different ways that you might color with the light and the dark. Like, I'm going to add some dark over here on each side in kind of the corners. And then with my light, I'm going to blend that out. Adding multiple layers to blend. The more coats of color you give, the smoother the look is. Another way to smooth is to color the whole thing with the light blend first, and then come back with your dark and add the accents. And that'll take a second or two to dry, and then I'll pick it back up. And then I got really carried away. This little area right under his beard doesn't have a lot of room for shading, and these will kind of spread, so don't feel like you have to come all the way up to the line because the color might spread for you. Now I'm using the bullet end for my coloring, and on these small areas I'm not really worried about adding a lot, but I've got this tiny bit down here. The brush end is really fragile, so to get that fine detail, you got to be gentle. Okay, this is red here, so I'll do the same kind of thing. And if his jacket were hanging over his pants, then there would be a shadow right there as well. You want to work quickly. In fact, Heather, teaching the course, has both markers in her hand so that she can just go back and forth. I tried that Saturday morning and got my caps all messed up, and it was downright hard to get straightened out once they were messed up. Might have been just that early morning hour messing with me. Okay, I think that's his red. Now we'll take the dark smoky slate and do his belt. Oh, you know what? I just did that totally backwards. Well, that part I meant to do daffodil, and the center part was meant to be black. Oh well. We might do it a little darker because that makes no sense, but that can be one of those, what's wrong with this? What's different? Do his mittens and his boots. We do have black blends, so you could do this in black. Now the magic that you're going to see today is really in how we address that stark white areas. because in reality, they're probably not stark white. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to take the light smoky slate and the color lifter. And I'm just going to push this around. And you could do that in, kind of flicking, feathering, by, drawing lines. Can you all see that? Let's see if I can get this. I don't know if you can tell that or not. But here on his hat. So you can see I've just drawn some color, some smoky slate on the outside. Now I'm just going to push it so it's just kind of giving it a little shadow. I'm just going to put a dot on his little eyebrows. And then on his beard, I might want to add a few dots up here, a few dots here. A few dots around here. And let's see where we go from there. And I'm going to turn this over so you can see what I mean about that bleeding through. So you can see where I added multiple layers of color, how that worked. Okay, then onto the sled. I'm going to pull up the bronze and do kind of the runners. The bronze doesn't have a light and a dark, so you can just add multiple layers of the color to intensify it. And it's really hard to talk and color at the same time. So we'll let that dry and come back to it and color the sky. Start with dark granny apple green on this present. And I did case this, but the photo, maybe it's actually in the catalog. The photo doesn't have a mark. And then for this, I am going to just make this green and white. And I'll make it a little darker just around the tag. And then come in with this red heart. And then person casing used Daffodil Delight and Pool Party on this gift. Trying to practice keeping this. And the bow, the darker part would be the center and then inside and then any that might be in the shadow. You could color these, don't feel like you have to do all this shading and stuff. You don't. These are kind of animated drawings. All right, so there's our coloring. I'm going to fussy cut. What am I doing on time? Okay. So for fussy cutting, my tip is turn your paper, not your scissors. Leave a little bit of white along the edge. That Pool Party marker I'm going to use again to add a little shadow to ground the sled and the Santa once I put it on the card. And I'm going pretty quickly here. I'm not going to cut between the rails. So for my son's Spanish class, we had to make a Spanish dessert dish last night. And we made a Spanish pizza. And it had no cheese on it, which I thought was heaven. My family thought was nuts. But it had spinach, tomatoes, onions, garlic over a crust that we made from scratch. Yeast, flour, oil. I thought it was pretty good. If I were making it again, I probably would have added some other vegetables, but and the sauce wasn't really a sauce because it was just diced tomatoes that were sauteed with the onion and garlic. So it was very different. Then he had to take photos and interview us to get our comments about this dish. Okay, that's pretty rough, but you get the idea. And Santa. So I'm curious, how many of you color with the Stampin' Blends now? Or do you, actually, I didn't think I would like coloring. I swore I wouldn't color for a long time. I know Johnny's on, and he does a lot of coloring with pencils. We're going to introduce him to some water. Linda is on, and I know she colors a lot with ink and water. She made some really cool backgrounds. Was that with alcohol, Linda? Hello, Kirby. Yes, you like to color with the blends. So the Delivering Cheer stamp set is a great opportunity for coloring. I may have to do a special class for that. But that can be for birthday. Lots of, she's not just about Christmas. All right. So, can you all join us in Zoom for a little while tonight? We'll start at 7 Central, and see how far I can last. Okay. Now let's arrange these little guys on here. So we're going to put this here, and the craft paper is kind of heavy, so it needs to be primed. So I'm probably putting more adhesive than I might. When you heat emboss too, it can sometimes make your paper curl, which is what happened here. And yeah, Johnny, it probably is. Maybe we can practice and see if there's a way. Trying not to get glue on me. I think I got him. My spacing is definitely different. Okay, and I'm going to take this light pool party and that way he's not just floating out there. Okay, now let's build this guy. Remember, this was end to end. So 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then this one is coming at a bit of an angle. This is the Simply Elegant Trim Curvy. It has the gold and the silver. And we're going to put this up on dimensionals. And then we'll tie a bow with that silver. Yeah, this is kind of stiff. Come on, get in there. And this ribbon just wants to twist and curl. It's not going to lay down easily. But there he is. Some little bling would make it even more cute. But pretty fun and easy. Takes a little time to color, but it's pretty fun. Alright guys, that's all I have for you. Watch for the countdown. I think that this is the week that I'm probably going to earn the trip to the Western Caribbean. I'm kind of excited about that. Thank you so much for your support. That makes all that possible. And anyway, so I hope that you'll join us again tonight at 7 o'clock. I don't stream that to Facebook, but the link is in on this page well, it should be pinned so that you can find the link. If you can't find the link, then please let me know and I'll be sure and get it to you. And if you'd like to order the supplies that we made tonight, remember the Feels Like Home is a celebration selection. And this is the, I've lost my stamp set. Where'd you go? This is the Be Jolly stamp. And we use the Holly Jolly Wishes for Jingle All the Way. So have a great Monday, everybody. I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye. I lost my mouse. There it is.